Hi guys, I'm here today with Megan Nespoli, not Nespoli. We just had an awesome conversation about that. Megan is the co-founder of Stillwater's Health and Wellness Nurse Coaching. She and I actually met each other when I was all the way back in grade school. She is the big sister to one of my dearest friends, and we recently reconnected at Sarah's bachelorette weekend, which was that in Steamboat Springs.
No, Glenwood Springs.
Glenwood Springs. My
Yep.
gosh, I had a blast. And it was not a Vegas trip. It literally was like a camping in a cabin. We had the best time around the fire. It was just so much fun. But anyway, she is a registered nurse, and she started her own company, and now she is doing nurse coaching, which I thought it just meant that she was coaching a bunch of nurses, and that's not it. So I'm going to let her hop in here and explain what nurse coaching is. Hi, Megan.
Hello. Thank you, Lauren, for having me today and giving me this opportunity to talk about something that I'm passionate about. So you are not alone. Everybody that I say, I'm a nurse coach, says, oh, you coach nurses. That's everybody's mind goes there. So how I have started to change that whole thing is say, I'm a registered nurse, and I have opened my own private practice in coaching in health and wellness. And so nurse coaching is a specialty within nursing, and it's fairly new. You can become board certified in it, but there's a education that you go on, and it's about a 7-month journey to get to where you can sit for your board certification examination. But it really couples the beauty of nursing, which is a holistic approach to patients, and then with a health and wellness model. And so you get to be with patients or clients one-on-one to really work toward what their goals and dreams are. And sometimes they're really big, sometimes they're just small little details that evolve into more holistic approach of things. But it's really can be transformational for people. Getting at the root cause of what's going on and asking why a lot. And then we can get to problem solving instead of just band-aids and pills and that type of thing. So I love it. It's so beautiful.
It's amazing because I've worked with several different holistic doctors. We've worked with, the holistic, good Lord, I'm forgetting what they're called, like the pills that are oh Lord, I'm forgetting what it's called. But nevertheless, it's definitely not anything like Western medicine. And
Right.
I love that approach more. I don't know. I've always just kind of gravitated towards the organic side of it. And my husband is very much more towards Western medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So here I am. I'm always wary of like certain vaccines and stuff. And my husband's like, shoot me up with whatever. I don't care. Both very different approaches.
Opposites attract sometimes.
It's so true. But I really enjoy this type of practice. And when we got to talk earlier this week, I had no idea that nurse coaching was a thing right now. And I think everybody needs to hear about this because it's a big deal that, nurses be recognized more for what they do alongside of doctors, but how can they help you instead of going all the way to the doctor? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely. And I mean, it is so new that there's a lot of nurses that have never even heard of it. So it's kind of still in its infancy, but it's really growing right now. And just to see how many people are coming into these programs, and there's interest in it in some of the online groups that I'm a part of too. So I really think that you're going to probably start to see this grow and explode, which is a wonderful thing because our healthcare system right now is so broken, and it just focuses on trying to patch people up just for a short term, and then they have to come back and get their doses upped or add new medications, and that creates more problems, and it never really gets at the root cause of what is going on with people and how they can change their lifestyle and just work at the basics and fundamentals of health and wellness and what a huge impact it can have. And God bless our doctors, they just don't have the time to see the patients and devote that time that they need to make a big change on a global, scale, or just even just within your own community.
Right.
So, yeah, so it's really it's meeting people where they're at on their journey, and then getting to partner with them to figure out, okay, what are your goals? What's the why behind them? And then, okay, how can we make this work for your life? And what can we change? What are the barriers? It's just a ton of curiosity around, and just really non-judgmental curiosity. And it's a
Mhm.
completely holistic look at healthcare. We don't just look at the physical part. We look at physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. What about your career, your occupation? Is that fulfilling you? Do you have a purpose? What's your connection with your relationships, and how are those? And so it's just, I love it. It's a blessing to be able to do it.
I'm so happy you found your passion inside of a passion. Because for you, I mean, we're going to go right into it. I'm going to ask you what started your passion and drive to become a registered nurse. But it literally is taking that passion and creating your own passion, which is
Yeah.
so rewarding. And I'm sure like this just makes you the happiest, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, let's go back to my question.
Yeah.
What was your passion and drive to become a registered nurse?
Yeah, so I was a teen mom. I had my first daughter, Mackenzie, when I had just turned 18 2 days prior.
Mhm.
So, being 18 and having a baby, there's fear going into that. And that, you're young and healthy. So I hadn't had a lot of long-term interactions with nurses. So the nurses there were very kind, and were my support system when I was scared and unsure of what was going on. So that was kind of my first interaction. And then after my daughter was born, over the course of the next year, I had two opportunities to be the support people for young mothers that were going in their labor and delivery, and even through their pregnancy, of what I had kind of been through and what I had learned. And I liked that. And then I was actually at the bedside for a support person for both of those women during their labor and delivery. And afterward, one of the nurses came up to me and she said, "You would make a really good nurse." And that was so, to come from a woman that I really respected, and just this role that I really respected, to have them say and speak into your life and say they saw something in you, is huge. And so that kind of planted that first seed. So I was about 19 when I first had that seed planted. Um, and then it was just really a labor of love, because it was about 10 more years before I got my nursing license. So I got that in 2011. And I had littles in that time, and I ran a daycare business. And then I went and I did all my prerequisites in my nursing school at night. And then I finally got into the program and got graduated in 2011. So it was a labor of love. And yeah, so that's how I got my start in nursing.
I love that. I love how people can just kind of come in and change your life. And they don't have to be there very long for it either.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
there have been so many people that I've called them, angels on this earth, that like literally it was just one interaction of a complete stranger that literally touched my soul in a way that I was like changed by them.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I love that. I love that there was a person there for you that you really like gravitated towards, and like she just kind of held up a mirror for you and said, "This is something that you could really thrive in."
Right, right, right. It's a beautiful thing. And then to get to see if you can do that and go out in the world and do that for somebody else, what a gift. And I think any nurses or anybody that's probably in healthcare probably knows this, that I don't remember those nurses' names, the ones that touched my lives.
Yeah.
And I know that I have touched a lot of lives within the course of my nursing career, and they don't remember my name either. But
Mhm.
um, I, her name is slipping my name, but people, the way you make them feel, they remember that. They might not remember your name, but that whole passion and that trigger within inside of me was because of a nurse. And so I
I
loved
love
it.
it. I love it. I remember, I will never forget the two nurses that helped me in my delivery. Both of their names were Hannah, and we called them the Hannahs.
Oh, I love it. Well, okay, well good. That was
Yeah,
probably easy to remember their names.
it was easy, but like I because of like my weirdness, my traumas and stuff, I actually blindfolded myself throughout my whole pushing phase of my delivery because I needed to where you leave your body. What is that called?
Like you disassociate.
I had, yeah, I had to disassociate in order to get through that. And I just remember hearing both the Hannahs, and they were so supportive and they were so sweet. I was like, they probably
Did I
think
lose
I'm,
you, Lauren?
oh no. Are you there? Hold on, everybody.